Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1740 of What You Have to Know, documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business and then back and forth again. So this has been a big week of learning. I've been involved I'm installing a new software program for all of my businesses and helping other people to do the same, as well as participating in a couple of trainings that are reinforcing some of the things I've already known and learned before, but I haven't necessarily applied. Have you ever done that? I don't know about you, but I'm learning all the time, and I apply little bits and pieces, but then there's whole big chunks that I forget about because I got busy in the implementation of a couple little bits and pieces. So I love when I get reminders of things that I've known and wanted to do, but haven't actually done in my own businesses, right? So shared one of those I think it was in Supersize Your Business. I talked about a gentleman I met, 2018, long time ago now, and something that he taught me and how impact he had on me, but I hadn't necessarily, I guess I have applied bits and pieces of it in my life and the way I'm operating and doing my businesses, but not 100%. And so it just reminds me that there's things that I want to go back and apply. And sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we need to take a step back and implement things that we know we want to do, but we just, for whatever reason, we always have a good excuse for not doing it, right, at the time. And then sometimes it slips our mind and we forget about it. That's why I write so many things down. If you look around me right now, I've got 5 notebooks and another stack of notebooks of things that I want to capture and make sure that I have to get better about going back and reviewing my notebooks with the good old-fashioned magnifying glasses, or get somebody to help me do it. So today for Supersize Your Business, we talked about a question of taste and how that applies to our businesses. And that's what reminded me of this thing that Myron Golden taught me, and that we forget to do the things that we know that we already know, right? But there's this tendency when we hear something that we've heard before to shut it down and say, oh, I already know that. But when we're not open and when we forget that we don't know everything, or we would have already done it, and we shut down, that's when we miss the key nuggets of the things that we probably really need to be doing that we're not, if that makes sense. So we talked about that. We talked about that how we serve, who we serve, how we show up in the world, it's all subjective. It's all a matter of our personal tastes and preferences, right? What we do, what we like, what we eat, what we think, what we feel, it's all based on our own unique, diverse perspective and experiences in the world, and the world we've interacted with, the people we've been involved with or had the pleasure to meet, some of the people we've had the displeasure to meet, some of the good experiences we've had as well as the bad experiences we've had. But each and every one of our journey is different than someone else's. And instead of being frustrated about the journey and about the differences, let's focus on the similarities and how we can learn from one another, and then embrace the things about us that are different and unique and special. Because that, when we do that, that gives other people permission to do the same thing. So we talked about that, talked about one of my coaching clients that's struggling with, and I've struggled with this myself, that we get in these negative spirals, these automatic negative thinking loops, or we trigger one of our beliefs or scarcity or lack or fear or something, and we don't necessarily recognize it right away, right? But when we start to think of things we don't want and in negative ways, or things that make us feel bad, our subconscious does this great job of feeding us all these information and all the stories and all the times when we felt the same way. Why? To keep us stuck in that feeling. So if I'm stuck in fear, I'm afraid of something, my subconscious, to keep me safe, is going to feed me all of the times that I've tried to do that, or wanted to do that, or thought about doing that, that I was afraid, or that I did step out and try it and I flopped on my face. It's going to feed me all that stuff, right? So we get into this negative spiral, and somehow we need to ask ourselves a better question. We need to change our physiology. We need to change our state, because if we're focusing on what we don't want, we're going to keep getting more of that, and we're just going to be stuck in that situation until something happens that allows us to open up our mind and our possibilities and think and focus on what we want. It's why I preach and preach and preach. You got to focus on what you want. You have to give your attention, your energy to what you want. And so we talked about that today. For the annual challenge, BU 365-day challenge. I just am doing kind of a breather day. I haven't been feeling well this week, so I thought, okay, instead of talking about something heavy, I'm going to share a card, which is what we're talking about, the unwanted versus wanted past. We have to focus on what we want, or we keep getting what we don't want. I can think of thousands of times where I've done that in my life. Instead of thinking I'm thinking about what I want, I mean, even today, I still will think I'm doing all the things I need and the affirmations, and I'll be thinking about one of my affirmations, and I'll be like, oh my God, as much as I think I'm smart about this, I'm absolutely stupid, because here I am reinforcing what I don't want. It's worded in a way that is as if I don't have it yet, instead of focusing on the thing that I want. And so every once in a while I'll still catch myself doing that, and I think that's a lifelong practice and skill, right? It's kind of like all the different tools and things we use them, and we keep using them until they become automatic for us. And then once they're automatic, then we find new things to work on. We are continually improving beings, human beings, imperfect. So as long as we're imperfect, we're going to continue to try to get better. So we talked about that. We're having a breather day today. So I said, let's just share how we best rest. If you don't have any questions about the SOAP framework, just hit me up with and share what is your favorite way to recharge your batteries, or rest, or recuperate. You know, some people take naps. I wish I was a napper. Some people have quiet. I have quiet time in nature. I just like to go for a walk if I need to recharge my batteries, or if I'm feeling, I have arthritis, bad arthritis. So if I'm feeling particularly stiff or sore, as hard as it is, we got to get up out of the chair, go for a walk, because once we get those muscles and those joints moving, they hurt more at first, but then there's a relief and they feel better. It's like whenever we have a pain of some sort, and pain is to indicate to us that there's something wrong, but it also is to teach us that sometimes we got to work our way through that pain to get to the other side of it. I could talk about pain for months on end. Chronic pain person here. All right, any questions? Hit me up. I'm going to go have a rest, relax, breather, recharge my batteries day, and get ready. I've got a trip to get ready for that I'm totally not ready for, and it's coming up faster and faster and faster. So if you have any questions, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.